Started painting when I had my first child and I had to quit my job and be a stay-at-home mom, and I kind of I credit that to Hannah. You know, I thought that when I had her I was going to go back to work, I was going to be the super mom, and it just didn't work out. I went back one day and I just had physical pain, and I knew that this was not my thing. I knew that I had to find something more suitable for me in my new life. So a friend of mine loaned me his art bag. His dad was an artist, and I spent the weekend just experimenting with charcoals and watercolors, and I made some things that just astounded me, and I couldn't believe that I could do that. And that's where I started. And then we lived in South Beach, and we lived right close to Lincoln Road, where there was the South Florida Art Center, and I just took a silly, you know, beginner's painting class and learned how to use the paint, because I had no idea how to use paint. I didn't know that there was a difference between oil and acrylic. I didn't know acrylic existed. So I started with oils, and I made a huge mess and had a lot of fun, and then I found acrylics, and that's what kind of set me off. There's so many possibilities with it. And then I found texture, I found mediums, and I found the palette knife, and the rest is history. I've just been doing what, you know, every artist should do, which is experiment and play around, and people liked it. People asked me to do things for them. Large scale, which I love. I love having somebody come up and say, I have this huge wall and I need something really powerful for it. And I go into their place and I see their space and I make something great for them. And that's how it started. It started with friends. It started word of mouth. And then we moved to Paris and I had my first exhibit there. And then I thought, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. That kind of sealed it. And when we came back, I just hit the ground running. You know, just not so much trying to be the professional artist, but trying to create every day, which is what it's all about. I mean, that's why I do it, and to get it into people's hands. That was my main goal. I love doing it, but I love getting it to people. And when they ask me to do it, I just do it. I have no reservations. I've never stood in front of a canvas going, what am I going to do? It takes about 2 seconds for me to do that, and then spread it around, and then play with it. And this is called These Things Are Less Dear. I do a lot of field of flowers, a lot of motion in the sky, palette knife for the flowers. I like them thick and textured, and this one actually has a glow in the dark in it, so when you switch the lights off, like, a lot of it glows, it shows up, and it makes a totally different painting at night. But I like doing that. I experimented with glow in the dark a little bit.
How do you know when a painting is done?
I never know when a painting is done. Sometimes Mike has to pull it out of my hands going, no, stop! But I've had paintings hanging on the wall for a year that all of a sudden I'll take it down and I'll add one more thing, or I'll stare at it for a year and go, that's what I need, that's what it needs. And I've painted over things that were great, but I just wanted that painting to be something else at the time. I don't get so attached to my work that I can't let go of it. I'm attached to the feeling of creating something new and getting it to somebody. Doesn't matter.